Okay, so continue with our questions. So we go to the other session, which was session C. To required only one word answer here. So we just need to answer with one word there. Okay, so the first one saying ion product constant of water. Okay, so the ion product a constant for water is what we call the KW, isn't it? So there, the answer is C, KW. Okay, so we go to the next one saying water-loving compounds. So water-loving compounds are going to be called hydrophilic compounds, isn't it? So hydrophilic compounds. Yeah, so those are water-loving compounds. They are going to be called hydrophilic compounds. Okay, then we also have water-fearing compounds. So for water-fearing compounds, they're going to be called hydrophobic compounds. Okay, these are hydrophobic compounds, right? Okay, then we also have the next one, which is saying equation for buffer pH circulation. Okay, so for the equation there, we are looking at the HH equation, isn't it? The Henderson and Heisenberg equation. Okay, so for the HH equation, remember, said we can have two, depending on what you start with, right? So we can have the first one, so for that one, so we can have pH being equal to the pKa, okay, plus the log of, so we get the concentration of the base, okay, divided by the concentration of the acid. Okay, so A indicates the base, and then HA indicates the acid there. Okay, so that's the HH equation. Or you can have pH being equal to pKa. Now here I'll start with the minus. So I can have minus the log of. So now I'll have the concentration of the acid. So notice that if I start with a negative there, I have the concentration of the acid on top, right? Divided by the concentration of the base down. Okay, so either this or that is going to be correct for the HH equation. Okay, so we go to the next one, which is the normal blood pH range. Okay, so that's approximate. So the range is 7.35 to 7.45. Okay, so that's the normal blood pH uh, uh, range there, isn't it? Okay, so the major blood buffer system that we are going to notice most of the time is um, the biocarbonate buffer system, isn't it? So we are talking about it, the biocarbonate buffer system. Okay, so we are following the pathway of carbon dioxide combining with water, okay, H2O, with the work of the carbonic anhydrase enzyme, isn't it? Okay, so that gives us carbonic acid, right? Which is able to dissociate into two. We can have hydrogen ions and biocarbonate, right? So that's the main buffer system that we have there. Okay, so that's for this question. So we go to question number 7. She's saying the property of water lowering temperature stability. Okay, so the properties, remember those properties of water. So we are looking at the property of water allowing the temperature stability. Okay, so because of it having the high specific heat capacity, it allows water to have that temperature stability, isn't it? There's no change in terms of state. Even when there's just a little change in temperature, then you can have a change in state. No, so you need to have high heat for you to change the state of water, isn't it? right? So it's because of it having a high specific heat capacity. Okay, capacity. Okay, that's the property that we are talking about there. Okay, then we go to the next one, saying molecules with both polar and non-polar parts are called what? So those ones are called amphipathic, right? Amphipathic molecules. A good example is a phospholipid, right? So you notice that it's going to have a polar head, right? And a non-polar tail. Okay, so you have a polar head and a non-polar tail. Okay, so that is an antipathic compound. Okay, so we move uh, to the next one. So we have done this one. So we move to the next part, which is part 9 there, which is saying pH where acid is half dissociated. Okay, so half dissociated to the pH, that's a pKa, right? So that's what we have there. Then on the last question, question number 10, saying programmed name for H3O plus. Okay, so this is hydronium ion, right? H3O plus. That's hydronium ion. Okay, so now we need a programmed name for hydronium ion, right? Okay. So what's the programmed name for hydronium ion? Okay. So okay. So it has to be a hydronium ion, right? HHO3 plus hydronium ion, isn't it? So this usually happens when a water molecule gains a hydrogen ion, right? So we add a hydrogen ion to a water molecule, we get hydronium ion. Okay, so that's a name for H3 or plus. Okay, so that's a program name there, hydronium ion. Okay, so that's what we have for this session. Okay, so now if you want to get access to the full tutorial sheet video solutions, you can access it on our website. You just register with us. So let me just show you how you can access it. So this is the full tutorial sheet that the questions that I'll solving. Okay, even the first part there, they are there. Okay, so you can access them on the website. So you just search on your browser, Discrete Learning Institute. Okay, once you search there, it will take you to our website. So now you'll be required to register, right? So you create an account, you register for the courses that you want. Okay, so you find the courses that are available. So when you open it, will be like this. You see the courses that are available. So if you want to um, register for biochemistry, you find a folder written biochemistry. Okay, so once uh, uh, you register, or you can go here where it's saying subscribe for a course. Okay, so once you subscribe, you should be able to go to our website. You should be able to access the website using the password that you've used and the email that you used to register, right? So you should be able to log in there. Okay, so let me just wait for it to log in. Okay, yeah, so once you log in, you should be able to see the courses that you've subscribed for. Okay, so it will bring the courses that you are subscribed to. So once you go to the course that you want, for example, biochemistry. So let me just wait for it to appear here. Okay, click. Okay. Yeah, so okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. So let me, yeah. So once you have the course that you are subscribed for, it appears like that, then you should be able to log in. Okay, so you log in the course for biochemistry. Okay, then okay, let me wait for it to load. So once you log in, you are going to see folders there. Okay, let me wait for it to log. Okay, clicks down. Okay. Yeah, so once you log in, you're going to see folders for um the university that you are. Okay, so you choose the university, then you are going to see other folders, different topic lessons, and then you have recorded videos for you have written materials, then you also have assessment, toy sheet, and assessment. So you go in the one written toy sheet and assessment. That's where you're going to find this one. There's also the one for past papers. So you just go in the one written test and past papers. You're going to find the recorded past papers and the videos there. So this is what I was talking about. So you choose your university. So there's Apex, at Exira, UNLAS, so you can choose the university that you are. Then once you open the folder, that university, you should be able to see the folders that I'm talking about. Okay, so for example, here I can open Apex. Okay, so you can open for Apex. If you're at Apex, then you should be able to see the uh, folders that are there. So there's topic lessons, there are the tutorial sheet and assessment, and also tests and exam past papers. So you choose which one you want, then you should be able to access the recordings that you want. Okay, thank you so much.